Chase Jones.
Well, as the evening rolled around, the dust storm gave up, and I think it might be done for a while. Now, you guys, I'm a car guy, so I'm going to be at the car wash tomorrow, making sure my ride's looking clean. But we are tracking out towards the west for the next high wind event. I don't think there's going to be one for a while. Now, we're looking at the temperatures over the last 24 hours, all the way down into those mid-50s, and we only warmed up into those mid-60s, and we're cooling off pretty quickly, and we're dropping all the way down into those freezing levels. If not, some areas will push below freezing. Now, temperatures across the entire Concho Valley in those mid-50s, 53 in San Angelo, everybody else, again, in the combination of mid to lower 50s across the entire region, looking at those shades of blue fighting their way in. 50 in Sterling City, 49 over there in Coleman, 57 down there in Junction, looking like they just changed right now. 7 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, if not 8, so we're just outside of that 10-degree spread. But look how dry it still is. Dew points are way down there in those teens, while humidity indices are up from those single digits into those 20s across the entire region. But we're looking for more instability. We want cloud cover. We want rain out here, but it's still just dry weather. Look, shades of brown for the entire couple days until Friday, where we see some instability finally fight its way back in. Concentrations of blues down near the tip of Texas, but we want more of that concentration here in the Concho Valley. Off towards the west, we're looking at the upper level pattern. High pressures finally pushing in indications of warmer weather by next week, all the way in those 80s. Overnight lows finally pushing up into those 60s, but I'm looking out for more high winds, and I'm also looking out for more cold air. But it's not looking like it at all, because tomorrow is the first day of spring. Now, water vapor imagery has been tracking all three of these systems making their way through the entire nation over the past couple days, if not the weekend. Now, you saw how severe the weather was off the west coast. Here comes the next round of winter weather right now, barreling over Wisconsin, if not somewhere of Iowa and Missouri. Here comes the next wave of severe weather as we see that dry air start to push off all that convection. And off the east coast, there goes the last wave. Here in the Concho Valley, dry air and semi-stationaries make their way down below those freezing temperatures. Now, it's pulling its way down from the Rocky Mountains, then pushing off towards the east, where the severe weather outlook is targeting somewhere around the Ohio River Valley. We take you down to the surface, still dealing with a lot of tornado alerts as they make their way into this evening. We get somewhere around the Concho Valley. We see that dry air and those red flag alerts finally expiring. And then off the west coast, here comes the next round of weather that we won't see. And the Futurecast is showing you where we'll fight back and forth with that cloud cover, those pleasant temperatures. And of course, I'm looking for circulations around the panhandle for any indication of high winds. Friday's looking like a breezy day, but it's going to still be a warm one, and then a beautiful evening. Speaking of beautiful evenings, all the way down into those 30s tonight, so bundle up if you have to go outside. Then tomorrow, a good run at those 70s for the first day of spring, so go ahead and preheat the car. Then tomorrow, going to be a pretty chilly evening as we hover around those 40s as we get closer towards the end of spring break. Temperatures are going to push all the way back up into those 80s, looking like a wonderful weekend to end that vacation as those overnight lows hover around those 60s. Then some finally stable, calm weather, but unfortunately still dry with the sun out there as we level out in those 80s and those 90s, while those overnight lows hang out in those 40s, not somewhere in those 50s. Stay tuned. I'm over the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.